Welcome back to Love Poetry Month on the Porcupine Presents. Today's poem takes us all the way back to the late 16th century with Christopher Marlowe's The Passionate Shepherd to His Love. It's one of the most famous pastoral love poems in English literature, a vision of a romantic countryside where pleasure is effortless, time is generous, and love promises a world without hardship. On the surface, it's a simple invitation. Come live with me, and life will be beautiful. But beneath that charm lies something richer, a fantasy of love untouched by reality, and a vision of desire that's as much performance as it is persuasion. After the reading, I'll share a short reflection on why Marlowe's shepherd sounds so confident, what makes this poem both sincere and a little mischievous, and why poets have been answering, parodying, or complicating this poem for over 400 years. Let's listen. The Passionate Shepherd to His Love by Christopher Marlowe. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove that valleys, groves, hills and fields, woods or steepy mountain yields. And we will sit upon the rocks, seeing the shepherds feed their flocks, by shallow rivers to whose falls melodious birds sing madrigals. And I will make thee beds of roses, and 1,000 fragrant posies, a cap of flowers and a kirtle, embroidered all with leaves of myrtle, a gown made of the finest wool, which from our pretty lambs we pull, fair-lined slippers for the cold, with buckles of the purest gold, a belt of straw and ivy buds, with coral clasps and amber studs. And if these pleasures may thee move, come live with me and be my love. The shepherd's swain shall dance and sing for thy delight each May morning. If these delights thy mind may move, then live with me and be my love. That was Christopher Marlowe's The Passionate Shepherd to His Love, a poem that stands at the crossroads of sincerity and theatrical charm. It belongs to the great pastoral tradition, a poetic world where shepherds don't shear sheep or mend fences, but spend their days composing songs, weaving garlands, and promising eternal pleasure. One of the striking things about this poem is how seamless and frictionless its world is. There's no winter, no work, no sorrow, and no limit to the shepherd's ability to conjure beauty. That extravagance is part of the poem's delight. Marlowe crafts a fantasy of love where desire alone reshapes the world. Everything becomes a gift, and everything in nature participates in the seduction. But the poem's charm also invites a more skeptical reading. The shepherd's promises are so idealized, so picturesque, that they border on impossible. And that tension is precisely why later poets, like Raleigh in his famous Reply, pushed back against the shepherd's optimism. They sensed that beneath the sweetness was a kind of wistful theatricality, a love song that knows it's painting a dream rather than a plan. What gives the poem its enduring appeal is its doubleness. If we read it as pure sincerity, it becomes an ode to the intoxicating early stages of love, the moment when everything feels possible. If we read it with a raised eyebrow, it becomes a brilliant performance of persuasion, a young man's attempt to woo through imagination rather than practical offer. And perhaps both readings are true. Love often begins with a vision of life unshadowed by difficulty. We don't fall in love with reality. We fall in love with what feels luminous and promised. Marlowe captures that enchantment with remarkable clarity. The way desire gilds the world, the way longing becomes a kind of creative power, and the way hope itself can be beautiful, even if it cannot be true in every detail. The poem endures because it reminds us of the sweetness of that first invitation, the moment love appears and says simply, "Come with me, and life will be wonderful." Thank you for listening. Join me tomorrow as Love Poetry Month continues here on the Porcupine Presents.